Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Crazy Ninja, not Ninja with a G, and today I'm going to be doing my first deck profile on my channel. This deck is one I've been playing with. I'm going to explain what all the cards do. It sounds and seems like it would be really, really good against numerous decks, but it actually isn't one of the most competitive. It's not bad by any stretch, but it's not one of the most competitive. But yeah, so let me show you what deck I have. Today I have wind-ups. So yeah, let's get started. So first, to wind up Bat. And Bat's effect, I'll read it along with you guys. Target one wind-up monster in your graveyard, change this face-up attack monster to defense, and add that target to your hand. So I only have 2 Bat because, I could play 3, but you don't really want to draw into Bat too much, or else you're really going to have nothing to do. You're just going to have weak monsters and they're just going to get destroyed, and his effect is useless because you want to get him halfway through. So that's the reason I'm not playing 3. I could probably side deck a 3rd one, but I'm really not going to. I don't really feel a need for it. I'm also playing 3 Honeybee. And Honeybee's effect. When this card is destroyed by battle, sent to the graveyard, you can special 1 level 4 lower wind-up monster from your deck, which is another really good effect. So 1 level 4 lower, so you can get Bat, change your defense, get the guy you need. But if the guy you needed was in your graveyard, if not, obviously just get him from your deck, which is pretty good. I'm playing Effect Veiler. I'm only playing 1. I was debating whether or not to play this card. I was kind of not going to play it, but I decided to play it. I felt I should. And Effect Veiler's effect is during your opponent's main phase, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and select one face-up effect monster your opponent controls, and negate the effect of that monster to the end phase. So if a monster's going to destroy your guy, you can basically negate the effect, which is pretty cool. So next we have 1 Wind-Up Kitten. It's actually a pretty good card for level 2, but I only felt the need to play 1. I don't really think I need to play a second one, but you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, return that target to the hand. While this card is in the field, only used once. So I'm not really going to play a bunch of them, because again, it's a lower level card, and I really, don't want to be stuck drawing kittens all the time, because that's how you're gonna lose a duel. But it's pretty good and helpful in certain situations if you have to, or if you have it on the field or in your hand. It's a good idea. Or you could use Honeybee's effect. This deck actually really works, even though it may not seem like it's the best deck. Next, I'm playing 1 Wind-Up Dog. I know it's a common level 3. I'm only playing 1 though. During your main phase, you can increase this card's level by 2 and attack by 600 until the end phase. So here comes level 5 and has 1800 attack, which is actually not too bad. It's a pretty good card. Wind-Up Hunter is the next card I have. This card is pretty broken. Its effect is insane. You contribute 1 face-up wind-up monster except Wind-Up Hunter. Send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. That's pretty broken. So if your opponent's hand has your opponent has a really good card in his hand, you can pretty much just take him out. Or if your opponent has if you can see your opponent setting up for a big key play, just take out one of the cards he might need, or he or she might need, and that's it. It's all over. I'm playing 1 Rabbit, Wind-Up Rabbit. During either player's turn, you can target 1 wind-up monster you control, banish it to the next standby phase. So you banish a wind-up monster that you control. Next I'm playing 3 Warrior. Warrior's actually one of the more useful cards in this deck. He has 1800 defense, which is pretty good. And his effect is that you can target 1 wind-up monster you control until the end phase, increase its level by 1, and attack by 600. So that's pretty good. I'm only playing 1 Wind-Up Knight. It's not a bad card, I just don't think I need a bunch of them. when a face-up wind-up monster you control is destroyed, or I'm sorry, targeted for an attack, negate the attack. So it basically saves a wind-up monster that you want to have out. But I didn't really need to feel like a bunch of them. It's not a bad card though. And then I have 3 Shark. And Shark is the card you get with the Cosmo Blazer Special Edition. It's actually one of the more useful cards in my type of build because of my extra deck and what I try to do with it. So Shark's effect is when a wind-up monster is normal special to the side of the field, you can special this card from your hand. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects. Increase this card's level by 1 until the end phase, or reduce it by 1 until the end phase. So that's, and then I have 2 more monsters. I have Thunder King. You gotta have Thunder King in there. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what it does, so I'm not gonna show it. But you gotta have Thunder King, and then I have 1 Trag. Trag's pretty good too. So that's my other 2 monsters there. But I just want to explain how my idea and why Shark is really good in my build. So if I have Shark, let's say I have a card like, I don't know, like Dog. Okay? And I have, let's say, because I have 3 of them, so let's say I draw 2 Sharks into my hand. So I play Dog on the field. Activate his effect, he becomes level 5. Activate Shark's effect, he becomes level 5. Activate Shark's effect, because he was special, so he gets the special. He's level 5. 3 level 5s in the field. And for my extra deck, that's going to be a good play, and we'll get to that in a minute. But there are a bunch of other combos besides that on how I can get cards like that. And like I said, we'll see that in a second. Spells, I'm not playing a bunch of them. I have Heavy Storm, you gotta have it. I'm playing 2 MST, and 1 Pot of Duality, 2 Enemy Controller, Zen Malfunction. Zen Malfunction, probably not everybody knows what it does. Target 1 wind-up monster in your graveyard, special it, in face-up defense position. Its effects negated, it cannot be attributed or synchro material. But it doesn't. But I can use it for an Xyz monster, which is pretty cool. And Ego Boost. Boost the monster's attack by 1,000 till the end phase. And then for traps, I have a lot of traps. I mean, like the majority, not the majority of my deck, but a lot of my deck is traps. Fiendish Chain, pretty good card. Mirror Force, Draining Shield, Call of the Haunted, 3 Zenmark. Zenmark or Zenmark, I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it, but target 1 face-up level 4 or lower wind-up monster you control. Return that target to the hand. Then special 1 wind-up monster from the hand with the same level. So, I mean, if you want to do something, you know. So next we have 1 Zen Maelstrom. This card's effect is you contribute 1 wind-up monster with 1,500 or more attack. Special 1 wind-up monster from your hand. Then you can special 1 wind-up monster from your deck with the same attack. So, I mean, there's a bunch of different plays with these trap cards, and I mean, you know, wind-ups aren't extremely competitive, but they're not bad either. You know, every deck has its ups and downs, and I wouldn't say this deck is a great deck, but it'll get you through. It's not terrible. Then 2 Mirror Mail. Mirror Mail basically just, if I have a 1,200 attack guy, my opponent has a 1,800 attack guy, Mirror Mail boosts my guy's attack to the same amount so they're both destroyed. Pretty much. Which is pretty cool. 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Solemn Judgment, and then Compulsory Evacuation Device. And so that's the actual deck I have. 40 cards. Pretty good. I think it's pretty good. It's proven pretty well so far. I only have 2 extra deck cards. I have Electric Virus and Marionette Might. And they're both level 3s, which is fine, but their effects are that this guy takes over dragon and machine types. I can control one dragon or machine type my opponent controls, or 1 zombie or fiend type. So I would do that if I'm facing like a really good dragon deck, or you know what I mean, like something like that. And during in between the rounds, I would add those guys in just to try to give myself an edge. If I don't draw into them, oh well, but I can at least try. So that's why I have them. That's the only 2 side decks I have. And so for my extra deck only consists of Xyz. I have Effect Veiler as a tuner, but I really don't use her as one. So I have one Mech-equipped Engineer. Pretty good card. 2 level 3s. Sorry about that. Let's read it. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can attach one material from this card, then target one face-up attack position monster your opponent controls to change it to face-up defense position, and it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects this turn. So you change the defense position, that way it can't attack you, it just can't be destroyed, which is fine. Then I'm playing one wind-up Zenmaines. Zenmaines is actually one of the better cards. I don't have Zenmeister because I think he's banned. I might be wrong on that, and if I am, I apologize. But I think he was banned. Zenmaines is actually really good because he, instead of being destroyed, you can detach one material, and he's not destroyed. So he can basically go for 3 turns without being destroyed and being like a stall card. 1500 defense, so he's not like extremely high defense, but he's not bad. So if you need help to stall, it's almost like it's a Swords of Revealing Light kind of effect, where for 3 turns, you don't take any damage if he's in defense mode, unless, of course, your opponent plays certain cards. So, like I said, every deck has its weaknesses. Number 39, Utopia. You gotta play Utopia. And then the reason I have level 5s in here is Chaos Xyz Comics Hero Legend Arthur. Focus, camera. Thank you. This guy's actually, he looks pretty sick. He looks like a boss. But this guy's actually pretty good. 3,000 attack. It takes 3 level 5s to make him. His effect doesn't apply because I'm not using Comics Hero Legend Arthur in the deck to get him. Or in the extra deck, I should say, to get him. But that's the reason for 3 level 5s, just to get a 3,000 attack monster on the field. That's the strongest monster in the whole deck. Just out of the normal monsters, I believe that the strongest monster as is Thunder King with 1900. Depending on how many cards you have in your hand, Tragoedia can be strong too, because you get 600 attack for each card in your hand, which is pretty good. But and you have Ego Boost to boost their attack and such. But I mean, they're not like a really good strong beater deck. They're basically just there to not get by, but to try to. I'd say that this deck, in all honesty, is more strategy than it is power, and that's good and bad. And for those of you who've played, you know what I'm talking about. How you need a balance of both, and I think this deck doesn't have that balance, which is why it isn't as successful as some of the other decks, in my opinion. And I'm gonna post a duel against an Insector deck, which I'm also going to do a profile on. This deck's going to face it, so you can see what I'm saying and how my deck works and how I play it. Alright, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and comment. I'm probably going to have a bunch more deck profiles and a few more duels and, pack openings and everything else I can. Also, on my Xbox, I got the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's dueling game, so I can play that and take video of that if you guys want me to, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty good at that. I have Neteria Barkion and Neteria Beast, so it's pretty cool. And, speaking of Beast, I go Beast when I play it. Trying to, make a joke, but probably not that funny. Anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And it's Crazy Ninja 9, Ninja with a G, showing you a wind-up deck profile, signing out.